What's up, tribe? Today we're going to be doing a double unboxing. So we're going to be doing two unboxings. One's going to be for my Thrill Club and the other is going to be for coloring and classics. I have the boxes next to me, so let's just dive into this, shall we? So we're gonna start off with my Thrill Club because this is probably the last box I'm gonna be getting from them for a little while. Finances are kind of tight right now, so I am having to kind of pick and choose which subscriptions are super important to me and which ones I kind of have to put on hold, skip for a while, or even cancel completely. So I have canceled them for right now, but because I am trying to focus my subscription boxes on books that have to do with horror and thriller genres, I probably will be revisiting them soon. So let's dive into this box and just see what they have for, what month is this? June? For June. It's June 1st when I'm filming this, but yeah, anyway. So this is the box. It's a really cool looking box. Now I will warn you, I got a little confused on how their shipping takes place, because when you first order, or when you first subscribe to my Thrill Club, you get your first box shipped out within like 48 hours. So you get your first box relatively soon. So I got confused because I thought that that meant the subscription just started right then and there and that each month you'd be getting a box. But what had happened was I started the subscription in April. And what that had actually been was like a pre-order of the May box. So I ended up getting the May box a tad bit early, and then this is actually my June box. So there was a little bit of time in between getting the boxes, so I got a little confused. But they settled me straight, you know, they were pretty quick on getting back with my questions, and I understand how it works now. I've actually noticed that a lot of book subscription boxes especially do tend to take about 30 days or so, because it's usually like a pre-order type of a situation. I know it was that way with Nightworms, it was that way with Abominable Book Club, so I think that's just kind of how it is. Like, you pay and you subscribe about a month in advance of getting it. But I just got a little confused with this one because I had gotten a box so soon, and then there was just this gap of time after that. So anyway, enough said, let's pop open this box. I have my trusty Lade, just in case. By the way, if you hear like a bunch of guys talking outside of my apartment window, that would be my boyfriend and some of our neighbors, because they're helping one of our neighbors move, and I have to film. I just have to, because I have to know what's in these boxes. Let it go, okay? All right, I'm cutting open the box. I did that thing that you're never supposed to do, and I cut towards myself. Don't do that. So just like the first time, it's really beautiful red tissue paper on top. And if, in case y'all did not watch my previous My Thrill Club unboxing, My Thrill Club is a subscription box for book lovers. It literally comes with 2 hardback books each month, and you can kind of pick the genre that you're most in love with. So obviously for me it's going to be horror, because I mean, who reads other things? I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. If you read other genres, more power to you. I am trying to kind of dive into the fantasy world just a little, just a smidge. But horror is always where my heart is going to be, and a little bit of true crime, and sometimes nonfiction as it relates to demonology specifically. So anyway, your girl's weird. Let's see what we have here. Okay, all right. Okay, so first up, it says Preston and Child, Crooked River, a Pendergast novel. So obviously there's 2 authors, and they actually have the 2 authors list, or their pictures on the back. Best-selling authors of Verses for the Dead. Ooh, okay, well, I see a lighthouse. Let's see what this is about. It says, a startling crime with dozens of victims appearing out of nowhere to horrify the quiet resort town of Sanibel Island, Florida. Dozens of identical, ordinary-looking shoes float in on the tide and are washed up on the tropical beach, each one with a crudely severed human foot inside. A ghastly enigma with no apparent solution. Called away from vacation elsewhere in the state, Agent Pendergast reluctantly agrees to visit the crime scene, and despite himself is quickly drawn in by the incomprehensible puzzle. An early pathology report only adds to the mystery. With an ocean of possibilities confronting the investigation, no one is sure what happened, why, or from where the feat originated. And they desperately need to know, are the victims still alive? A worthy challenge for a brilliant mind. In short order, Pendergast finds himself facing the most complex and inexplicable challenge of his career, a tangled thread of evidence that spans seas and traverses continents, connected to one of the most baffling mysteries in modern medical science. Through shocking twists and turns, all trails lead back to a powerful adversary with a sadistic agenda, and who, in a cruel irony, ultimately sees in Pendergast the ideal subject for their malevolent research. Okay. Well, I've never heard of the Pendergast novels before, but I'm assuming that that is Preston and Child's thing. Maybe they've done several of these novels before. If you've read any of these novels, let me know what you thought about them in the comments down below. This is a big chunk of a book. Let's see what the page count is at. We're right around, okay, so it's like, yeah, it's like exactly 400 pages. And the print is a decent size, as you can see. So let me just kind of, print is a decent size. So normally this book would retail at $29 in the US. It is a hardback, so it obviously costs a pretty penny over here in the US. And just keep in mind that this subscription box each month is less than $20, and that includes shipping. So this book alone exceeds that, so that's still already a pretty good deal. This sounds more like a thriller than a horror novel. I'm okay with thrillers. It does sound a little true crimey, so that's kind of cool. It doesn't sound like anything I'm gonna read too soon, and it does sound like something I may actually re-gift. So if the re-gifting happens before I get around to reading it, oh well. I have so many books that I'm trying to catch up on reading, so this is just not gonna, this isn't gonna like worm its way into that list, because nothing about it is like super just catching me like, oh my god, I have to read this. But I probably will be re-gifting this because my dad, he used to read. I don't know if he's retired now, so he's got a lot of time on his hands. So he used to read books kind of like this that are kind of mysterious and true crime-esque. So he may end up with that book. We'll see. And then the second one, I'm absolutely in love with. This is a hefty book. It says Horror Ghost Stories, edited by Joanna Blythe. Look at this cover. Tell me that cover is not absolutely gorgeous. And then there's the back. And as you can see, this one retails only at $15, but this is a hardback. This is a chunk. This is like a heavy book. Ooh, look at that. That is so pretty on the inside. That is gorgeous. Let's see, I believe this is like an anthology. Definitely looks like an anthology. It's sitting right around 384 pages. Yes, it is an anthology. So let's see. It says, horror literature has its roots in the mists of time. In the 19th century, writers delved into ancient folk tales and local legends to inspire an entire genre. In the 20th century, the next generation of writers brought to life a brand new array of terrifying monsters. The authors in this volume range from Victorian pioneers, such as Bram Stoker and Edgar Allan Poe, to the pulp writers of the 20th century, such as William Hope Hodgson and H.P. Lovecraft. Yay. The tradition of horror writing that developed took very different turns on either side of the Atlantic. While American authors turned to unknowable horrors and cosmic terrors, British writers such as E.F. Benson and M.R. James mastered a more familiar form, the classic ghost story. It was not only English speakers who sought to terrify their readers. The French writer, don't ask me to say this name, just don't. A prolific short story writer and pupil of the acclaimed novelist Gustave Flaubert, found ways to make his protagonists doubt their own sanity as they faced terrors that would drive any ordinary man mad. This looks cool. I'm not even gonna lie, this looks really cool. They started off with The Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe. There's a cute little introduction here. But this looks really interesting. There's some Bram Stoker in here. I'm excited. Honestly, I've only received 2 My Thrill Club boxes, and this would be the one book out of both boxes that I am the most excited about. Now, they did actually include an anthology of sorts in the first box. If you remember back, I got Growing Things by Paul Tremblay. So it's basically a bunch of short stories just by Paul Tremblay. I'm still making my way through that one. If I'm being 100% honest, I'm not really enjoying it very much. There are some of the short stories in there that I like, but nothing that I love so far. So hopefully this anthology is a little more up my alley. It sounds like it will be because I love gothic horror literature. So I feel like I'm gonna really enjoy this one. So this one's definitely gonna make its way into my must-read list. So that's exciting. And again, like I said, this book by itself would have been about $30 and this would have been about $15. So we're looking at about $45 retail. We got both of these books for less than $20 in My Thrill Club. So that's really cool. I mean, like I said, I probably will be revisiting My Thrill Club at some point in the future just because their prices are really great. Now, I will say that in both boxes so far, which I know 2 boxes isn't really much to go off of, it seems like they've had one horror book and then one that's more of like a suspenseful thriller. And like for me personally, I would rather it just be horror. Don't get me wrong, some thrillers are fantastic, but for me personally, I much prefer horror to anything. So like in the first book, we had snakes. I still haven't read that one. I ended up kind of regifting it just because I knew it was probably never really going to be something I wanted to read. And the same thing is probably going to happen with Crooked River. I may eventually read it, but it'll probably end up being regifted just because it's not something that immediately strikes me as horror. And that's really what I want to focus on reading for the remainder of this year anyway. So yeah, that was the unboxing for My Thrill Club. So let's dive into the other one we have, which is the Coloring and Classics. Now, if you remember the last unboxing I did for this one, I believe actually included 2 of the boxes. Their shipping schedule was a little bit off, but this one actually is more based on the time frame of what it's supposed to be, because this is going to be like the June box because it arrived, today on June 1st. But originally they had sent me by accident 2 of the same box, and then they had sent me another box, and now we're on this one. So far, and I was able to pick a genre in this one as well, and of course I automatically picked horror because that's what I do. But I have noticed that this company is alongside, I don't know if it's a sister company or what, but it is alongside My Thrill Club. So there was an incident where the first box that I got from Coloring and Classics actually had the same book that was picked for My Thrill Club for the previous month. So I ended up getting the same book twice. Actually 3 times, because that was the box they sent me 2 of by accident. So in this one, it's very likely that the novel is going to be one of the 2 novels that I just showed you. I'm really hoping that it's not, but if it is, it's all good. I will simply do like a giveaway or something like that. I'm trying to convince myself that every 100 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway. So we'll see how much interaction we get in the future. You know, if we can get a little bit closer to 300 subscribers, great. And then I'll do a giveaway. Yeah. Fine. Anyway, let's get into this. Let me find my little blade and actually like cut away from myself this time, like you're supposed to. Yes, this right here is what I was waiting for, because let me tell you, the first, what company is this? Chupa Chups. These lollies are amazing. Put that out there, because the first 2 I got, I don't even like lollipops. I don't usually like sour candy or anything like that, but these come in the Coloring and Classics boxes. And the first, I ended up with 3 of them because, like I said, I got 2 of the first box, and they were just sitting around. I was like, I'm never gonna eat these, and I finally was just like, you know what, let me try one. They're freaking delicious. Anyway, So yeah, if you have not watched my previous unboxing of Coloring in Classics, just know that you basically get to pick a genre. Like with my thrill club, I chose horror. So you're going to end up with a novel, a puzzle book, and a coloring book. And they usually, now this is kind of what it looks like. So it's very much not like my thrill club where it's red, a little bit green in here. Now they usually come with coloring books, but I mean coloring pencils, but I'm actually not seeing any coloring pencils this time, and that's okay because honestly I ended up with 3 packs of coloring pencils and, you know, a lot of other stuff, so no worries there. So I'm already looking at the top, you guys, and guess what? This is the book. So yeah, definitely gonna put this to the side and end up doing a giveaway. I probably will do a giveaway of this and then a giveaway of the Growing Things by Paul Tremblay, because those are the 2 books that I ended up getting the same copies of in my thrill club and Coloring in Classics. So just as a forewarning, if you're interested in doing a bunch of subscription boxes, do not do both my thrill club and Coloring in Classics. Don't do it, because then you end up with this. But hey, at least it was the cool one, the one that I really liked. So this one I will definitely keep a copy of to read, and then I will probably do a giveaway at some point if we can get to 300 subscribers. So that's really cool. So yeah, I mean, no hard feelings there. Now it also comes with a really cool puzzle book, and honestly I usually re-gift these as well because I don't have much time to really sit down and do puzzles. But this one's big, look at it. It has a really big title page. It's got like this spiral notebook look to it. So like there's a lot here. There's Sudoku, crosswords, word searches, logic puzzles, and other surprises. So that's pretty cool. I'll probably re-gift this to either my brother-in-law, my mom, maybe my aunt, because they tend to like doing puzzles and I just don't really. Now, as far as the coloring book this time, this is gorgeous. It says Daydreams Artist's Edition. Look at this. This is really pretty. And look at some of these designs. So they're really simplistic designs, but they're gorgeous designs. Like, that is so pretty. I love it. So honestly, this one is probably one that I will keep because you can actually tear them out and frame them. It says 20 drawings to color and frame. So you can actually frame these if you want. And they're really nice, like the cardstock that they're put on is really nice quality. So I feel like that would hold up really well. Ooh, that one's pretty. So I feel like this subscription box, and this is the last box that I'll be getting from Coloring in Classics, just because I wanted to try them out. And usually, in my opinion, it takes about 2 to 3 boxes before you figure out whether or not this is something you want to continue with, or this is something that's just really not for you. Now, I feel like Coloring in Classics is awesome as far as a gift idea, or if you just are really someone who likes puzzles, who likes coloring, who also likes reading. This box, I can't exactly remember the price. Oh, I did a 3-month prepay plan, and I paid less than $60 for all 3 months, which rounds to about $20 or so, and that includes shipping for each box. So it's a lot like my thrill club. You know, the price is great because honestly you get a big freaking good quality puzzle book. You get a really great quality coloring book, and then you also get this big hardback novel, all for $20 or less. So honestly, like, I understand why they are a sister company to my thrill club, because the prices are really awesome. So I mean, this is a wonderful subscription box for like gift ideas, or like I said, if you're someone who just genuinely loves the puzzles and coloring and reading and all that good stuff. Now my thrill club is probably what I will return to, just because I'm not big on puzzles and I only color every now and then. So I'll probably, if I return to either one of them, it will be my thrill club, but definitely don't do both because they end up with the same horror choices. Now, like, you could do both if you chose a different genre for one or the other. So if you wanted to do like horror for My Thrill Club and then like fantasy or romance for coloring and classics, that's fine, because I guarantee you it will be a different book each time. But my silly stupid ass did horror for both, not knowing that they were sister companies, and here we are. So I'm still not disappointed though, because like I said, we can plan a giveaway soon, or we can just re-gift some of these items. So either way, I'm happy. So what did you guys think? Are these some companies that you might be taking part in soon? Or do you feel like these just really aren't for you? Now, as far as the prices, I would say go for it, but you know, it just depends on what you like. We're gonna have a ton of unboxing videos coming up. I have my Abominable Book Club that's still coming in for this month. I also was able to snag Nightworms, but I think I ended up pre-ordering for July. So I probably won't have a Nightworms unboxing for you guys until July. And then we also should be getting our Creepy Crate this month. So yeah, we got some unboxing and some book hauls to do. So if you enjoy these types of videos, just get ready, because it's happening. It's happening. But yeah, I digress. I hope you guys are enjoying the summer months if you are in the northern hemisphere. And if you're not, then I hope you're enjoying the fall/winter months. But yeah, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't already, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.